1st of January 2026, and this is the weather. Yeah, it's raining. Well, it's pouring actually. We do need some rain. Those trees down there will just love rain. Beautiful frangipani is out. And just the sound of rain is just so great. It's been raining all night actually. Just after the fireworks at 12, it started to pour. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name's Barbara Radzevicius and this is a quilting channel mainly. Mainly I talk about quilts and some knitting occasionally and some sewing. For this year 2026, I'm going to call my channel Quilt With Me. I think it's a fun name. And yeah, 2026 friends, the end of the year and the beginning of the new, and I'm wishing everybody a very happy 2026. I hope the world is a more peaceful place and we find so much joy in the crafts that we do, and especially quilting. So I'm going to focus on quilts, and every 2 weeks we are going to make a block together, friends. They won't be difficult, but they will look really cute. And I'm hoping that at the end of the year we can make a nice quilt or use the blocks for something, you know, creative, like cozy bowl, hot bowl holders and things like that. So much fun. It has been a tricky 2025 here for me personally. And yeah, I hope it's all over and everything settles down, especially with my health and everything. But I seem to be okay, so you know. And we have some nice big birthdays coming up, not for me, but for John. He is having a big birthday soon. He's a Capricorn. I'm a Virgo. We get on well together, which is good. So yeah. So quilting. There are so many things to talk about with quilting, isn't there? So we'll have a look at all the equipment that I use, my toolbox. I love my quilting toolbox. It has all my beautiful threads and the needles and the millions of those curved safety pins that we use for basting. And I'm hoping to, I have taken some things down from the wall. I hope to paint my lounge room a different color. It's been this paint for 25 years. And I'm hoping to choose a nice color, a new refresher. And then I'm hoping to put up my big table again, my long table. It's not a big table, it's about 3'6" wide, maybe not even that, maybe 3 feet wide, but it is perfect for basting quilts on, and I do miss it so much. And I'm going to make a space over here in the corner where the corner fireplace was when it was gas, but it is no longer a fireplace. And I'm hoping to find a beautiful old reclaimed small corner fireplace, a faux one, just to put there, and then I'll put the table and my chairs, and I'm so looking forward to that. And then we will go through all the steps in making a quilt. I know we have done it before, but every time is like making, well, it is making a new quilt. The colors are so beautiful. We will go and have a look at some quilt shops. And we will talk to Judith about quilts. Judith is she's my relative, but she is also my best friend and my quilting friend. So one of my best friends. I have a few best friends. And yeah, we love quilting. And I'm sure that you all love quilting as much as we do, and that's why you're here. Yeah. And it's fun to look at our stash, isn't it? And I'm calling my fabric room my library. So I've got a library of collected fabrics. They're not big pieces, but you know, they're perfect for a scrap quilter like me. Most of my quilts are scrap quilts, what is termed a scrap quilt. I make a lot of English paper piecing. I did a lot when there was COVID, so in those 2 years I spent a lot of time English paper piecing, but I also love foundation paper piecing too. And I made a quilt that was a cat quilt, and I think we might do that too. I'll show you how I do that. And you might purchase the pattern too, who knows. But it is such a fun scrap cat quilt, and so many possibilities for every quilt, isn't there? It's just the traditional patterns are open to just what you can think of. I mean, all possibilities in scrap quilts. And then there are the gift quilts that I make for charity. So I do make charity quilts, but they are smaller quilts, so they are for newborns at the hospital. They are for newborns that don't make it. So they are special quilts that are either for the parents or for the baby. And I like making those. They are special. And I hope they bring joy or, you know, a remembrance to those. So they are my charity quilts. I also make quilts as gifts. They are my birthday gifts or my, if anyone has a baby, when it's a couple of weeks or months old, and when I've made the quilt, I do like having a store of, say, 6 quilts ready to give. And for the charity quilts, I make those all the year through with blocks that are left over or something that catches my eye, and I think they would make a perfect little quilt. And I just make those. And we put all the love and all the thoughts into the project when we're doing it, don't we? Our quilts are just filled with everything that we think of. And so are our knitting. I do love knitting too, and I love the colours and the fabric that it makes. And I'm not a very good knitter, but I like the portability of it. My socks always turn out, but it takes a while to build up to making a few pair of socks. I make a couple of pairs a year, and I just like having something to keep my hands busy at night, when you're watching TV. So that's mainly quilting, hand quilting. I do hand quilt in my lap, which is a bit different to how traditional quilters quilt and how, for me, I don't have enough space for a big frame or even a hoop. I don't use a hoop. I don't think I've ever used a hoop, really. I know it keeps it very nice and taut and everything, but I don't need it taut because I use millions of pins in a quilt. And when I scrunch it up in my lap, I have enough pins, to big stitch quilt. And that's the thing about big stitch quilting, isn't it? And those beautiful Valdani and DMC threads that we get. I love shopping for them. I've got a nice collection of quilting threads that we will have a look at again. And for every quilt, it is just so great to have a look at all the cottons, see what you like. I don't quilt with quilting thread as such. I think it's a bit thin for me. I do like the the thicker thread that shows up and is colourful, and I just love it. I do use quilting thread though for Scooterman's quilting thread, and I do use it for English paper piecing. It doesn't knot, and it's very handy for a quilt maker like me. So yeah, that's the main things. I will be very happy when my table is up and I can baste some of the tops that I've got ready to go. There's one behind me that is a gift quilt. I love making gift quilts. Oh, there's Kitty walking past. I have a cat, Kitty Levine. She's 12 years old now, so she is a old kitty. I live here in Sydney, Australia, with John and Kitty by the beach, and I like looking at the weather too. I take a photo every morning except one day a week, and it's nice to keep a visual photo of the sun as it goes up and down the coastline. For me, I know it's a bit strange. I also like looking at clouds and the stars at night, the constellations and everything. I think it's just wonderful. So that's it about me. I hope you enjoy the content in the channel this year. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do, and just helps the channel grow. Just for me personally, I like to see comments on where you live, especially. And I have a giveaway once a year at the end of the year, sometimes 2 a year, but usually once a year. And it's usually something I make, a quilted project. But this year, it might be something different. We'll see. So thank you so much for coming to see me, and jump right in and have a look at the beautiful box of squares and triangles and beautiful colors that are just waiting to jump right into. I am using Quilt With Me as my channel name this year. I've changed it for this year. Last year we were Bondi Quilter. I needed it to be a bit more specific. I think I'd start with quilt as the name, but that is the only change, and I'm still here in Bondi quilting. That's it for this episode, for the first episode in 2026, friends. So quilt with me throughout the year. We'll have some fun and we'll have a lot to look at, hopefully, and I hope to hear from you in the comments. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. And yeah, just join the fun community that we have here. Quilting. Okay, see you later, friends. Bye. I thought we'd have a look at half square triangles and squares. This is an exciting box, and I have had these cut for a few years. I think it's time I made something out of them, make somebody a beautiful quilt or two, I'd say. And then there are all these squares that are sewn together. So altogether, these squares and triangles would make a Jacob's ladder quilt. And I made a lot of Jacob's ladder quilts. But this is more. But I'm thinking that as there are a lot of them, I will make something, not only Jacob's ladder. I will show you how I make a Jacob's ladder block. I already have in a previous episode, but I think 2026 will be the year of making blocks with me and putting them into a quilt at the end. Let me know if you're interested in doing this or doing some of the blocks, but I think every 2 weeks I will have a block of the 2 weeks. So hoping for that. But yes, so I'll still have a weekly, hopefully a weekly episode out, but I'm going to focus more on quilts this year. So Hopefully all you quilters, all my quilting friends, all my kindred spirits will be joining in and having a lot of fun with fabrics, shapes, triangles, squares, semicircles. You never know, but I think it's going to be a quilty year. About the giveaway from last year, from December, I have one person who has contacted me, still waiting for two. If you haven't already contacted me, the winners, two of you, please do so and send me a DM or an email at barbara.radzevicius@gmail.com and with your address, and I will post your gift. I hope you enjoy the gift. I hope it's useful, and I hope you will think of me when you're using it. So don't forget to have a look at the last episode and catch your name. Okay,